Nobody wants it for a home because it's not safe. I've been thrown down the steps. I had a fractured tailbone. We've been bit. We've been scratched.
This morning, a couple from York County still trying to sell their home, which they say is haunted. It's been 4 years since Fox 43 took a step inside Hanover's haunted house. The last time we went, our Fox 43 photographer said something reached out and touched him. The house has been featured on a number of television shows and is now a subject of a book. Fox 43's Grace Grifton decided to take a visit.
Nestled at the corner of Maple and Monroe Streets in a quiet Hanover neighborhood, a house that hasn't felt much like home for its owners since shortly after moving in. It's known as Hanover's most haunted house, featured on the Travel Channel's show The Dead Files.
So now what would happen up here that you're not sleeping up there?
I was coming up the steps, and then I felt two hands just like that.
The owners, Deanna and Tom Simpson.
As soon as we pulled up, I was just instantly drawn to it.
Deanna fell in love with the house's quirks and charm. It reminded her of a childhood home in Kentucky, but that love story soon turned into a nightmare. One the Simpsons say they can't seem to escape.
The problem is that nobody wants it for a home because it's not safe. I've been thrown down the steps. I had a fractured tailbone. We've been bit. We've been scratched.
In fact, the last time Fox 43 visited the Simpsons' house, our photographer believed he was scratched by something.
Just a couple minutes into the interview, our photojournalist, Nick, felt his wrist burning.
Are you okay? Did you get scratched?
He was behind the camera, but Simpson knew what had happened right away.
Deanna and Tom lead us on a tour of the 3-story home. We learn Tom is slightly skeptical, but unable to deny something's happening here.
The thing was, I used to kid her about, well, you're ghosted, this, that, and one day I was at the kitchen table saying that to her, and I got a burning sensation. I actually had a scratch. That's why I said, there might be something to this.
I started crying and I said, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? What happened there? You know, there's no cats around. We're just sitting here.
Deanna, the main victim in this haunting, recalls horrifying stories throughout the couple's 10 years here. This elk head remounted several times after Deanna and Tom found it on the floor, the same room where Deanna and Tom have felt sick.
This is where we thought we were having a heart attack. We would end up going to the local hospital. We would drive there, and as soon as we left the house, we felt better.
And in another room, Deanna says she's watched by a woman outside the window, and something crawls into bed with her at night.
A couple times I was actually pinned down in the bed. I couldn't move.
We experienced some phenomena ourselves, like when Fox 43 photographer Drew Zala hears a noise he just can't explain while getting shots of the house. And in the basement.
And down here is the family room that we never, ever use.
Where I begin to feel something strange.
Ow.
Did you get
feel
that?
When you come down? Did you feel that? Okay.
I did not. What did you guys feel?
You just feel all of this pressure in your head, like all of a sudden just pounding.
Right
in here.
Right here. I did not feel that upstairs.
No, because downstairs we have like 3 levels of haunting. You have your basement and you have your first floor.
Cuckoo.
And then you have the upstairs. And it's like they all stay in these areas.
While researching, Deanna says she learned a young boy was shot in the head here. She says he likes to make himself known.
A lot of times it's been captured on EVPs where he will say, I've been shot, I've been murdered, or I've been killed. And it's like he's leaving his feeling of how it felt on you.
While talking about the boy's tragic death, a paranormal detection device mysteriously sounding off.
I tapped it with my foot.
Do it again. Okay, that's only set off if there's an entity there.
No, I'm gonna go back to where I was.
Okay. Well, they put that there because that is where, you know, it happens.
But there's more. What Deanna calls the shadow man, captured on camera in the basement, and terrifying voices recorded in other parts of the house.
You will see
A spirit threatening a paranormal team checking it out with us. And the guys not feeling quite so hot inside the home either.
Here, it's like you get that little nausea and then like I get a headache. I have a headache.
With all of these strange encounters, we had to do a little of our own investigating. Walking the basement with special tools designed to capture any spirits. And using this device, called a spirit box, to talk directly to the spirits.
Is the spirit that scratched the last time the news people here still in this house?
I believe so.
Something even saying my name.
She said, who's sitting here? It said Grace.
And to make matters spookier, I suddenly became very cold, shivering uncontrollably.
You're shaking pretty good, look at her. Her leg's going a mile a minute.
We leave the house a little less skeptical than when we arrived. The true test, looking at the audio and video captured on cameras left in different rooms. One camera recording this strange sound. And what sounds like a man whispering. We'll repeat it because we couldn't even really hear it at first. A slam, which isn't coming from any door inside the house. Last, and possibly the creepiest sound of all, a deep and guttural growl. We also lost audio from the camera's internal mic when it randomly cut out during our tour of the house. My photographer says that's never happened to him. It's no wonder the Simpsons want out.
How do you defend your wife against something that you don't see?
We're here. You're here. We're here because we have nowhere else to go. Can't buy another home unless you can sell this.
They've tried a number of cleanses with no luck.
We've had a priest, a preacher, a shaman, a Reiki healer, a witch, and then Tom and I just said, look, nobody's able to do this. We're just going to do it ourselves. And we just can't do it. It's just bigger than us.
For now, they'll continue to decorate the house, making it their own. And Deanna says they have their faith. It's just a question of how much longer will they be able to stay. In Hanover, York County, Grace Griffithson, Fox 43 News.
Fascinating stuff. Great job.